Hey, what's up, students? Let's do the sneaker streak. Use your compound inequality solving skills to solve for x by comparing the circumferences of the circles. Wow, that's a long list of directions. So here's what we got here, friends. It says the smaller red circle has a radius of 7. The middle-sized gray circle has a circumference of 3x plus 12. Okay, so all the way around this is 3. Oops, it's not a 3. 3x plus 12 all the way around circle. All right, and then the diameter of the blue larger circle is 29. So no, it doesn't show up right there. Let's do a 29. Hey, there we go. All right. So what are we trying to do here? Comparing the circumferences. So we probably need to find the circumferences to do a math problem. Good thing I dropped in some circle formulas. A diameter equals 2 radiuses, radii. Circumference equals diameter times pi. Area equals pi r squared. I don't think we're doing area, so this is kind of a distractor, so ignore that one. Set up and solve a compound inequality to find the possible values of x. Compound inequality goes right here. We're going to leave them in terms of pi. All right, so when you use a circle formula and pi is involved, there's this thing called leaving it in terms of pi, where you basically leave the pi symbol alone. You don't even put it in your calculator. Since we can't easily type the pi symbol, we're just going to use the word pi. So for example, if your answer is 5 pi, you're just going to type 5 pi to stand for pi. All right, that is pretty simple. So here we go. So the circumference of the gray circle is 3x plus 12. We're going to drop that in the middle. You're the middle one. Okay, you're between the sizes, so you go in the middle. So 3x plus 12 goes right there. All right, so here we have to put the circumference of the red, and then here we have to put the circumference of the blue. So let's go ahead and find those circumferences. The blue circle is going to be pretty easy to figure out because that's the diameter already. 29 is the diameter, so that's going to be just 29 times pi. Okay, right here, diameter times pi. So I'm going to drop 29 pi right there. 29 pi. Oops, that's how I would write it. I better follow the rules here. I would type it 29 pi. There we go. All right, 29 pi. That's how you would type it in Schoology. Now, what about the red one? Now, it's kind of tricky because I give you the radius. Uh-oh. If the radius is 7, that means the diameter is actually 14. So you would use 14 pi for the circumference around the red circle. So we're going to go 1, 4, pi. All right. So now how in the world do you do all these crazy operations with the pi symbol? Well, don't think about it too hard. Just use your calculator and everything will be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do it from scratch over here. Let me show you what I would actually do. So if I was doing it on a piece of paper, I would use the regular pi symbol. So I've got 14 pi, which is going to be less than 3x plus 12, which is also going to be less than 29 pi. All right, so here's how I would do this. Anytime you use pi and actually calculate it, you're going to get decimals. I would try to hold off any calculating until you're all the way done and then calculate at the end to eliminate possible rounding errors. Because some things that might happen, students, is if you round too soon, it's going to mess with your answers down the road. So don't actually calculate anything until you absolutely have to. So let's go ahead and solve. Minus 12, minus 12, minus 12. So I wouldn't even put that in my calculator yet. I wouldn't even do 14 pi minus 12. I would actually go like this. I would do 14 pi minus 12. And over here, I would do 29 pi minus 12. Okay, and then the final move is I would divide everything by 3. Divide everything by 3. Divide everything by 3. So what I would actually calculate is this. Okay, I would do 14 pi minus 12 all over 3 to get the most accurate answer possible. Okay, now I am letting you know it is okay if you do 14 pi minus 12, hit enter, and then divide by 3. Just don't round too soon. If you round too soon, so like if you do 14 pi minus 12 and then round and then divide by 3, you could get an erroneous answer. Okay, so I would try to I would save all of your calculating until the absolute very end. Okay, so anyway, when you take 14 pi minus 12, hit enter and then divide by 3, and don't round until the end, you get about 10.66 and change. So round to the nearest tenth, that's going to be a 10.7. Okay. Over here, when you do 29 pi minus 12 and divide by 3, you get approximately a 26.36 and change. So that's going to round up to a 4, 26.4. All right, cool. So not overly complicated of a question, just the pi symbol really just kind of messes with this whole thing. That's exactly why I wanted to do this. I wanted to give you a compound inequality with a little bit of a twist, that twist being the pi symbol. So that's how you attack pi in Schoology. Use the letter pi when you type it in. And then when you actually solve this inequality, this compound inequality, be careful with pi. I would recommend not rounding until you get to the very end so you can save yourself from making mistakes. All right, friends, that is the sneaker streak, and we'll see you in class.